While he's the son of one of our greatest sporting stars, Shane Warne has begun to forge his own path in life, having already conquered the brutal SAS course.
Now he's putting his creative energy into podcasting, creating a new show where he talks to some big names and shares stories about his dad, the late, great Shane Warne.
The title of the podcast is called Warne's Way. I hope you guys enjoy listening to it and watching it as much as I've enjoyed doing it. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited about this, and I know you're probably
And Shane Warne joins us live from his home in Melbourne. Hey, Jackson.
Good morning, Kylie. Good morning, Dr. Chris. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for calling me doctor too, Jackson. I appreciate it.
You insist, don't you?
I really do. Mandatory. It's great to see you, and such a great idea. How have you found time? How have you found this time of becoming an interviewer for you?
Well, the last sort of 2-3 years, I never thought I'd be doing something like this. You know, I've always been sort of shy and introverted, and talking on camera was probably the last thing I thought I'd be doing. But ever since the State Memorial, that sort of really changed for me. And then obviously doing a lot more talking on camera with the Shane Warne legacy and with all the health checks, that's also made me a bit more confident. And I think there's also a lot of people out there still in Australia, especially, that want to hear stories and remember Dad. I've heard so many people come up to me and they all have a Shane Warne story. So it's cool hearing from Dad's friends, their perspective.
Okay, well, from what you're saying, it's like you've found your voice, which is a beautiful thing, Jackson. When you announced the podcast, you released this video on social media. You were quite open and honest about what we can expect. Let's take a look.
I know you're probably thinking, oh, not another podcast, but just give me 6 months, 1 episode a week, 26 episodes, and we'll go from there. If it's I'm gone, but I'm really excited to share this with you guys. I hope you all enjoy it.
I love that approach. That was quite refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I feel like everybody's got their own podcast now, and I've definitely acknowledged that they are popping up out of everywhere. So I don't want people to think, oh, it's just another podcast. So I hope my point of difference is people being able to remember Dad. I hope people are enjoying it. And that's why I said, just give me 6 months. If it's no good, I'm gone. But hopefully everybody enjoys it.
But it is very much like your dad to be so transparent and so honest, which we obviously love as well. And you're going to be talking to some pretty heavy hitters in the sporting and media world. Can you drop some names for us about who we might be hearing over the coming weeks?
Yeah, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but I've sort of teased the first few on that trailer that I dropped. But I'd love to speak to people like Glenn McGrath and obviously Ricky Ponting, Alan Border, all of these cricketing icons that Dad played with, because it'd just be so cool hearing Dad's life from the early 90s to the 2000s into the commentary box. I'm hoping to speak to people like Michael Vaughan, who he used to play against over in the UK. So obviously the core will be the sports, but I'd love to talk to people that got a health check, for example, and that they've actually made real life changes. So I don't want to pigeonhole myself into only being Dad's friends, but I think that's at the moment what I feel comfortable doing, and it gives me a bit of practice as well.
Yeah, you say that you're hearing these stories about your dad and everything. Is there anything you've learned about him that perhaps you didn't know before, Jackson?
No, I haven't learned anything, but I'm happy that everything's sort of in common. He's always being very respectful, very nice. He's always lending people a spare smoke if they need it, or, you know, there's all these things in common where he's just being himself 100% of the time, no matter where it is. So it's comforting to know that the dad that I knew at home is also the same, you know, the same dad that meets everybody out in public.
Yeah,
because there is 2 versions of him, but it's just nice that when people meet him face to face, it's the same.
What are those 2 versions, Jackson? What do you mean by that?
Well, there'd be the Shane Warne that is obviously in the media and that people would know, the aggressive spin bowler, all that sort of stuff. But then there's the dad that's at home that actually, you know, loves to play Monopoly or cuddle or all that sort of just fun, lovey-dovey dad stuff. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's lovely to hear. And you're also sharing your own stories of growing up with your dad. What do you think people will be surprised to find out about him?
Surprised? Well, I feel like his whole life was under a microscope, so I'm not sure if there's many things that would probably surprise people because everything was sort of out there already on display. But I think people would be surprised with how patient he was. People probably already know that with bowling, obviously, in Test cricket especially, you have to be patient, but he was surprisingly patient when it came to Monopoly and to all these sort of things, so that might surprise people. I don't know, I don't know what would surprise him, to be honest. Maybe I'll find out something when I'm doing these stories for the podcast.
What do your siblings think? You've got sisters. Siblings are known to be quite brutally honest when appraising the work of fellow siblings. What are your sisters' thoughts on your podcast?
I think they're just really happy that I'm trying this and giving it a go, because they know how shy I am and how sort of my whole life I never really thought I'd be doing something like this, or especially talking on camera. So for them, they're sort of seeing me sort of face my fears, and especially talking about something that is quite personal and emotional, but actually I can smile about it and hopefully spread positivity and help people by doing that. I think it's pretty cool. But I've actually just remembered something, Dr. Chris. I said, was there anything that I've heard that surprised me of Dad? I found out something that surprised me when Dad was on The Jungle, when he said he believed that we evolved from aliens or something. That was the first time I'd heard it, that he had believed in that. So I've just thought of that memory. Thank you for looking after him on The Jungle, Dr. Chris.
I remember him sharing this when he was in camp, and the in-depth analysis of because the camp is surrounded by baboons and monkeys, and talking about how similar we are, and also the aliens, and how his belief that the reason we have iPhones was because of the alien influence, and he stepped it all out and had everyone transfixed by that, and it was just, but such a brilliant storyteller, and you're obviously showing those traits as well, and we were so hooked by every single take that he had.
Sorry, was he serious or was he having a lend?
I could never tell, Jackson. Was that a serious belief, or was he just entertaining?
No, I definitely think it was a serious belief. He was a big one into all that sort of stuff. He loved trying to figure out who built the pyramids and all those sort of things. So no, I definitely, every time he said something, he definitely meant it.
Yeah.
And it's just funny that he sort of he had this sort of ability that when he was telling a story or talking, that everybody just wanted to listen.
Yeah.
And so I remember that exact moment when I think they were having a swim by the lake or the river. He was telling that story and everybody was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jackson, your partner's also working on this podcast, producing the interviews that you're doing. What's it been like having your partner as kind of your boss or your co-worker?
It's been awesome. She's definitely saying, because she's not like somebody that will just tell me what I want to hear. She's definitely something that gives me constructive criticism, and I definitely take it on, and she's always honest 100% of the time. She's actually just out of frame, but she's not letting me spin the camera because she said she doesn't want to be on camera this morning. She got a bit embarrassed when she was on the camera last time. So it's been awesome sort of working together. It's been awesome.
It's good that she's close by keeping an eye on you. That's
True.
good.
Jackson, just quickly, are you also scared of spiders, or how are you with spiders?
Well, my three biggest fears... So Dad used to say spiders to him wasn't a fear, it's a phobia. And I've sort of faced my three biggest fears, which was socialising, cold water and food. I now face them all, and I eat normal food. I get in cold water just fine. I have ice baths quite often, and socialising, no problem. But the spiders, I still cannot, even when I'm in the bathroom and I see the daddy long legs in the corner, wherever it is, I can't be in there. I think Dad's put that into my blood, that I can't face that fear of spiders. It's now a phobia. I actually think he traumatised me. It would have been back in 2008 or 9. We tried watching the movie Arachnophobia, and we couldn't finish it. We couldn't finish the movie. We turned off halfway through. I was trying to jump on his shoulders because I thought spiders were coming out of everywhere. It was just, it was awful. Thought they were coming out the shower.
Might be
So I definitely haven't faced my fear of spiders yet.
Might be a good interview topic for the podcast. With,
right.
And someone, a spider expert.
Jackson, so lovely talking to you. I think you've inherited your dad's gift of the gab, quite frankly. I think this is going to be a terrific podcast. Well done.
Thank you for having me. I might have to, I'll throw a Hail Mary. I might have to try and get Robert Irwin on the podcast to tell me about wildlife and try and help me cure my sort of fear of spiders.
That would be a good one.
Or even you, Dr. Chris, you can help me.
If you're looking for an animal expert, just...
Or even you. If Robert's not available, see how you go with Robert first, and then you'll...
Or anybody, and you, Kylie, whoever wants to come on, try and help me beat my fear of spiders, or just talk about
I'd be right with you up on the top of the couch. Jackson's podcast, Warne's Way. That's what you need to look out for, Warne's Way. It is available to stream right now with Jackson behind the microphone.
Yeah, great to chat to you, Jackson.